Hey, my beautiful people, welcome back to another episode of Selfish Therapy. If you're new here, I'm your host, Lyrae. On this channel, we talk about any and everything self therapy. So if you are not ready to do the work, this may not be the channel for you. All right, guys, don't forget you show your support to me by subscribing to my channel, turning on your post notification bell so whenever I post new content, you guys are notified. Please remember, I do have two channels, this one as well as my vlog channel, Libre Lifestyle Vlog. It will be linked into the description box. All right, but happy Saturday, guys. Hope that you guys are having a great Saturday as well as you had a wonderful week. But this week we're going to be talking about our fourth or fifth episode in this series, and today it's emotional intelligence. So if you are interested, stay tuned and let's get right into it. So guys, if it seems different, is I kind of moved a little bit so that I could get a little bit more of the natural lighting. So that's why it looks a little bit different from my intro. But yeah, as I stated, we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence and how we can develop that. First, I want to say, if you guys have not seen my last videos in all the other videos in this series, please make sure that you go ahead and watch them. It's some great information in there, as well as I would love to hear what your thoughts are, any resources or anything that you guys can do that would also help anybody that's watching as well as myself. So don't forget to watch that. All right, so let's jump right in. So emotional intelligence and how can we develop that? So first we need to know what is that. So simply put, emotional intelligence is understanding your own emotions as well as being able to understand the emotions that are around you. So the people around you, you want to understand. I feel like once are you're clear on your emotions as well as what it's easy for you to be more understanding to others, right? Rather than ridicule them or just look at them as bad people, and just understand that we all go through these things and your approach will be different when you understand. Make sense? All right, so there are some key elements of for emotional intelligence, like I would call them subcategories as well. So that's your self-awareness. How are you aware of your own emotions and why you react the way that you do? Two, your self-regulation. How do you put those into place? How do you manage those? When you understand what it is, now how do I manage it? Motivation. How do you motivate yourself? What are some of the things that drive you, right? And help to balance those out. And how empathy. How do you have empathy towards others? And remember, I just said when you understand your own emotions, it also helps you to understand the people around you. So that's you learning how to show empathy and your social skills. How do you operate in that space when you do understand, like, what are some of the things that you do? How do you, operate socially? Make sense? So those are like some of the key elements of emotional intelligence. So now let's talk through some more. So when you have high emotional intelligence, what that means is that you understand your feelings. So you kind of identify, all right, I'm feeling something. Next is what that feeling means, and then how it influences your behavior, right? So it's just the way how you process what you're feeling, rather than just having a flush of emotion on you, sometimes up and down, sometimes it changes, but you have no idea why you're feeling that way. We've all been there. I still go through that sometimes, that I just don't understand. And I think sometimes life happens, things happen, you don't know, and you're feeling those emotions, but it takes a little bit longer for you to even identify. Sometimes you never do, right? So just knowing, all right, what am I feeling now? Right now I'm feeling angry. Right now I'm feeling sad. Right now I feel hurt. Right now, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Right now I feel happy. Next is when you have that intelligence, it kind of helps you to process differently, and to say, okay, rather than skip understanding what it means and going right to act, you start processing, okay, what does this mean? Because sometimes it's not what it always, sometimes it's not what it seems. So you processing, all right, now that I feel sad, why am I feeling sad? What does this mean? And when I feel this way, how does this influence how I react to others or even to yourself, right? And I will say this, you cannot control what other people feel or what they or how they react to certain things, but what it does is you have an understanding which allows you to show empathy, right? If somebody's acting angry or you see that somebody's frustrated or upset, rather than matching that energy, you can sometimes turn that entire thing around or make them feel a little bit better by the way how you approach them. Be a little bit kinder, showing them that you understand. You're showing them empathy, right? Because sometimes people just want to be heard. So it doesn't make sense matching the person's energy, because two people being frustrated, they're frustrated, you're frustrated. What's the point? What are we getting at? There's no resolution. So I feel like it helps you to to approach the situation with empathy rather than trying to escalate it to another level, or it just doesn't make sense. Okay. So that's, I feel like when you have high and high emotional intelligence, a lot of the times, rather than a situation getting escalated, it helps to resolve the conflict, right? Simply put, high emotional intelligence also helps you with conflict resolution as well as better communication skills. I feel like when everything is at a high, um, it just makes the situation more intense for no reason, right? These skills are great to have in a professional setting, helps you to have better conversations, better communication, people receive it better. Just being able to get your point across, these are really great skills to have in to utilize in your personal life as well as in a professional setting, right? You cannot let your emotions take control over you all the time. That's something that I had to learn. I'm such a sensitive person, and I'm now getting to understand my father's side of the family. I realize that's how we are. My mom's side too, but I think that we handle it a little bit different. I think on my dad's side, we're very emotional. We're overthinkers. Once we think something in the mind, oh my God, it controls everything else. So is what triggers all the emotions, and sometimes you're almost like you look crazy. Not even gonna lie. Now that I'm more intelligent emotionally and I've learned I'm not 100% there, but just learning how to manage and understand who I am as a person, it kind of helps me to see, like I said, see my family. I start looking down my family line and looking at my father or my sisters and brothers and see how they react and some of the things that we have in common. And I can honestly identify with some of those things because I've been there, right? I may not be there anymore, but I've been there. And I just feel like being emotionally intelligent is like the doorway to so many things, to peace, right? Because a lot of the things you create just havoc for no reason. It's a toxic way of operating, if we want to be honest. So that's something that I had to learn. So now that I'm understanding better, I'm processing things better, I'm understanding who I am a lot better. And you can't allow your own emotions to control you, right? And oftentimes you're allowing somebody else to control you. So what somebody says to you may hurt your feelings. Now your emotions, you're upset, and now you react. And guess what? You have the consequences to deal with. Just letting, just allowing other people to control how you react is just not the right way to go. So I feel like working on becoming stronger and building your emotional intelligence also helps you to operate in a productive way, right? I feel like it's a great skill it's a must for leadership, right? Especially if you're leading. And leadership doesn't always, it's not only in workplace, right? In a professional setting. Leadership is also home. What are you teaching your kids? Leading your family, right? Leadership skills, I feel like that's very, very important. Emotional intelligence is a crucial part of being a leader. When you're leading other people, you can't always be controlled by your emotions. You have to make sure that you have logical and rational way of handling and approaching a situation, being able to see things from different standpoints, showing empathy by understanding the people around you, right? Because you can't just, it's not always about you. So that's what I guess I think you guys get it now. I think I've said it enough in so many different ways of what emotional intelligence is and how it can affect you. So now let's talk about how we can improve it. All right, so now that we have an understanding of what emotional intelligence is and how it can affect us, what's the importance of building that skill, let's talk about how we can build it. So, speaking from experience, and anybody from that know me when I was younger, especially going to school, I was a really angry kid. That's just the truth. I would fight, I would do these things. And that's because I was angry at the world. But I didn't know how to express that. I didn't know how to say that to people. So anything remotely close to, I feel like you're hurting me, disrespecting me, betraying, whatever I put as what that looks like, I would react with anger. And I was not happy about it because after the fact, after it happens, I wouldn't think about it before. I wouldn't feel it come. Sometimes I would feel the anger coming on, but I just didn't know how to control it. But I realized that I didn't like it. I did not want to be that person. I didn't like how I felt after. So awareness is first. You need to be aware that something is not right. You are not approaching it correctly. You don't like how it makes you feel, whatever the situation is. But awareness is first. The next thing is once you are aware of it, you'll start to think about it. So, all right, for instance, anger. I got angry. Somebody said something, I got angry. Why did I get angry? Why? Why did that bother me? Why am I making this person control me? So you start asking those questions, right? Or on the other side, if somebody got upset at you because now you are more emotionally intelligent, what you're going to start doing is thinking, that can't just be the reason. Why did that person react the way that they did? And what is the underlying reason that they approach it or receive whatever happened in the way that they did? Why are they lashing out? When you start asking why is this? Why is that? Why? You start searching for answers. And then once you start, you start finding them, right? You start searching for answers, you start finding them, and you start understanding, and you start, it's kind of like a light bulb moment, like, oh, all right, now I understand, right? And if that's not what your aim is for anger or violence or whatever, you're going to start approaching it differently because now you have a better understanding of why that person reacted the way or why you did, and try to work on things to not do it. So it's your thought process. A huge part of becoming just overall self-development and becoming more emotionally intelligent is you need to understand who you are, right? It all ties together. Last time we talked about communication and developing better communication skills. That's also a piece of building your emotional intelligence. And it helps you to have better relationships with people. It helps you to do the work and pushing and trying to understand the people that you care about and why they operate the way that they do. You can't save everybody. You can't make people do what they don't want to do, but you have control over the way that you react to it. And a part of holding on to that control is understanding, right? So sitting with yourself, spending time to learn who you are as a person, not what people tells you, not what people told you growing up or what was spoken over your life before, not what your parents said they want you to be, who you are in Christ, who you are. God is the only person that can interpret that for you, and you have to spend that time with him, right? You have to sit with yourself and spend that time with God to better understand who you are, because only he's the one that created you, and he's the one that can actually give you clarity around your purpose. A lot of times we are being dragged into different directions. We're in taking on other people's path because we don't understand who we are. And when we don't fit in, those are the things why we're so uneasy, why our emotions are all over the place, why we're upset, we're sad, we're, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to fit yourself into a space that you don't belong. That's not who you are. Try to work on you and understand who you are and what you were created for. And that will help you to decipher a lot of the things that just didn't make sense to you before. Sit with God, ask Him who you are. He will clarify for you, I promise. All right. So just knowing who you are helps you to operate differently, operate better, your reactions. It helps you. I literally had to pray. I'm sorry. I literally had to pray about not being an angry person. I did not want to. When I started realizing the reasons why I was angry, it was a lot of things that happened to me in the past, a lot of things I didn't understand, a lot of things. I started understanding those people and realized they didn't come out, most of them did not intend to hurt me. Their actions did that, and I took that and ran with it, right? And that was molding my entire life. I lost my entire 20s because I was so angry. So, guys, I apologize for this. My microphone died, and I did not realize, and I was recording the last half of the video, and there was no sound. I didn't realize, so I apologize. So rather than get rid of this video, I just wanted to let you know what I was talking about. So last thing heard was I said I lost my, pretty much I didn't live my 20s because I was so angry. I was so busy being angry. So I really didn't live my most of my teenage years as a teenager. I didn't get to go through that experience properly because I was so closed off from the world and wasn't able to trust people. And it wasn't until I learned how to balance my emotions and becoming more emotionally intelligent is when I started to understand me. I started to be aware and start looking into why I operated the way that I did, and I started to look at the how other people, the people that hurt me, or the things that I didn't like about the people around me, or how they operated. I started to understand some of the reasons why they operated the way that they did as well. And it kind of made me start forgiving, start letting go of a lot of things, and literally just start living again instead of living in the past and holding on to the things that was before and having triggers control me in my present. Now I'm able to operate more in peace. And yeah, so I wanted to I share that with you guys because I want you to see that I'm speaking from experience and not just saying some things to you. I literally had to pray about it, work on it to become better. And then I realized that in my professional world is also helping me do to get along better with people, right? I'm not alone. I realize that we work together better rather than alone, right? We need each other, and being upset or easily getting in my feelings or taking things personally, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because sometimes you create this narrative in your head, which it has nothing to do. It's so far from the truth. And that is what is influencing our actions. So I decided I wanted to change that. And that's why I decided, I'm glad I was able to do this video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, do not forget to thumbs up, drop a comment. Let me hear what your thoughts are on it. Let me hear what you'd like to hear me talk about. Share some of your experiences. But guys, and watch the rest of the videos in the series. It's a lot of information, right? And I love you guys. I will see you on the next vlog. Bye for now. It's a love conquest.